Merab has just beat Sean O'Malley by submission at the end of the third round, and what a great card, but what a great main event as well. Obviously, people do say Merab has very boring fights, but this one certainly wasn't that. His last one certainly wasn't that, and even the one before against Sean O'Malley certainly wasn't that. And his record now is undeniable. I think most people are going to agree that he is now the bantamweight GOAT. Obviously, Dominic Cruz, it's between him and Dominic Cruz. I don't actually think TJ Dillashaw is up there as like a 3. I think it's them two, then TJ Dillashaw. But my opinion, after that, Merab has now become the bantamweight GOAT, especially the fact that he submitted Sean O'Malley. But let's look at that fight. Obviously, the first round plays out probably how everyone expected. Sean O'Malley looks quite clean with his boxing, his striking looks really good, he's staying at range, but then bam, Merab gets a takedown, holds him on his back for a while. And I kind of, when I was watching that, obviously loads of people have been picking Sean O'Malley, but a lot of people picked Sean O'Malley in the last one. Obviously he's changed his lifestyle, he's got the surgery, he's not injured, he's changed his hair, and I liked everything he was saying. I liked the fact that he was getting too attached to the nickname and the brand Sugar, and he's got rid of that and he's now just Sean O'Malley. I really like that. But Merab's just a different level of athlete, and he is so good. At the end of that first round, I kind of knew that that's how the fight would go, but I actually thought it'd just be decision. I definitely did not see him getting the submission. Round 2, Sean O'Malley was a lot better, defending loads of the takedowns, but Merab, even though his wrestling isn't at the highest level, like in the week I done a video talking about Merab's not at that much of a high level, but he still take downs. Everyone had done a short on it, and loads of people in the comments are like, he's a rubbish wrestler, Doesn't matter, because his game, it doesn't matter if he's actually rubbish at wrestling, because his game makes his wrestling amazing. He's so successful with the takedowns as well. Obviously in this fight he got loads of takedowns. Then into the third round, again, takes Sean O'Malley down, but this time he lands Sean's in turtle, locks up that ninja choke, and Sean O'Malley tries to roll with it. Obviously switches to like a north-south choke on his left forearm, just cutting across Sean's neck. As he's flattening out two on Sean's face, Sean can't turn anyway, and he's forced to tap. And great fight. I loved the little celebration afterwards. I thought Sean was quite humble in defeat as well, which they liked too. He wasn't like dead salty or anything like that, which he can't really be. You've just been tapped out. But Merab, such a high level athlete, and me personally, he's going to have to fight Corey Sandhagen next. He's going to have to, because who else is there to fight? I reckon he'll probably fight. I reckon he could even get on that Chicago card, but I imagine it'll be in September or October time. But me personally, Corey Sandhagen's only on a 1-fight win streak. He just lost to Umar Nurmagomedov, but Merab's that good. He's wiped out the whole division. That who do you even put him against? Because he wants to be active, so you may as well get him to fight Corey Sandhagen. He's someone he hasn't fought yet. Santosha doesn't want to come up and fight Merab, and Merab doesn't want to go up and fight Volkanovski. So it is a pretty logical matchup, but I just think Merab's going to destroy Corey Sandhagen. I think it could either be submission again, or I could see it just being a pretty dominant decision. I don't think Sandhagen has the grappling where he can actually avoid the wrestling. I think Merab's cardio is too good, and even if Sandhagen does really well in the first 2 rounds, maybe he wins one, loses one, or he wins both of them, I think 3rd, 4th and 5th Merab will just take over, and I cannot see anyone beating Merab. But obviously there's been loads of people like that in the history of the UFC. We probably could never have seen Jose Aldo getting beat, Anderson Silva getting beat, and they do eventually. So maybe Corey Sandhagen will be that guy. But Sean O'Malley, where does he go from here? I reckon he will have quite a long time off. I reckon he'll come back maybe December, January time, and I think he should fight Peter Yan in a 5-round, either main event or co-main event, or he should fight Umar Nurmagomedov in a 5-round co-main event or main event of like a fight night. I think either one of them would be perfect for Sean O'Malley, because it's weird, he's in such a weird situation where he's not the title holder, but he's definitely by far the biggest name in the division, and maybe they'll want to give him a matchup where they know he can win to keep his star power. Maybe they'll give him, I don't know, like a Mario Bautista, who he has a pretty good chance of winning in, and we'll come on to in a minute. Or maybe they'll give him even Marcus McGee if he beats Peter Yan, which I don't actually think he will, but if he does, that'd be a really fun matchup. Marcus McGee versus Sean O'Malley. Maybe they'll even give him Henry Cejudo. There is loads of matchups for Sean O'Malley, but it's just about when he wants to return and who he even wants to return against, because we know how big of a star he is. He can kind of call his own shots, but I think it will either be Peter Yan or Umar Nurmagomedov. Probably more Umar Nurmagomedov, the fact he's not fighting Peter Yan now. So it is still exciting times for the bantamweight division. I see obviously people going off that, oh, bantamweight's ruined now that Merab's still the champion, and it's not. He is fun, he's entertaining, and even if the fights aren't as entertaining, his build-up's really fun, and that fight was definitely entertaining. So let me know in the comments if you thought that was entertaining. I certainly did. Kayla Harrison destroys and beats Juliana Pena, and this fight, it kind of felt like just a stepping stone for the Amanda Nunes-Kayla Harrison fight. I don't think many people had Juliana Pena winning. I know Daniel Cormier on commentary was trying to hype up Juliana Pena, saying she's being overlooked, she's a really good underdog and stuff like that, but Kayla Harrison destroyed her, nearly ripped her arm completely off. That would have been horrible to watch if she didn't tap fast enough. It was a very fast tap, but rightly so. If anyone's ever trained jiu-jitsu, they'll know how painful that submission is. And Kayla Harrison, she is an absolute unit, so that would have gone on extremely fast. But yeah, it just seemed like a stepping stone, that fight, just getting Kayla to the belt so that she can then fight Amanda Nunes, because no one was really interested in Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena 3. And I find it hard calling Kayla Harrison the greatest women's fighter of all time, obviously because most of her fights were in PFL, but if she can beat Amanda Nunes, I think she's got a really good case for it. Obviously Weili Zhang, if Weili Zhang beats Valentina Shevchenko, then maybe. Obviously Valentina Shevchenko, if she beats Weili Zhang, maybe, but then Valentina Shevchenko did lose to Amanda Nunes, but they were very close fights. So let me know in the comments who you actually think is the women's MMA GOAT. So I do think right now it is Amanda Nunes. Obviously, if Kayla Harrison beats Amanda Nunes and say Shevchenko beats Weili Zhang, or they just don't even fight, then I think I'd put it as Kayla Harrison. I think whoever wins out of Harrison and Nunes will be the women's MMA GOAT for a good while, in my opinion. But great dominant performance by Kayla Harrison, quite entertaining too, and that submission absolutely brutal. On to the feature fight, Joe Pyfer versus Kelvin Gastelum, and first round amazing. Joe Pyfer looked really good, obviously 2 massive knockdowns, and he landed a couple of other good shots where you were surprised that Kevin didn't go down, like the head kick. But round 2 and 3 was so boring. Kevin Gastelum started getting back into it, and to be fair, it got really close by the end of it. Obviously the first round was definitely a 10-8. Second round, I did have it Joe Pyfer, but I could see how you have it Kelvin Gastelum, and the last round was definitely Kelvin Gastelum's round. But that didn't look good for Joe Pyfer, that performance. If you took away the first round, if you finished him in the first round, it would have looked unbelievable. Everyone would have been like, oh my god, Joe Pyfer's back. But I did like what he said on the mic, where he was saying like he's been out for ages, he had back surgery, he is a little bit rusty, let him have a couple more fights and then you'll see the real deal. But my opinion, that second and third round were very boring, and he was just waiting to throw like this huge shot, and even still he wasn't even waiting to throw a huge shot, he just wasn't throwing anything really. But he definitely did get the win. That second round was really good. He landed a really good uppercut at the start of the round. But where do we go here? Kelvin Gastelum, obviously he can fight just an up-and-comer and the next contender. He's not going to get cut from the UFC, I can't imagine. Joe Pyfer, maybe he fights like someone just outside the ranker. Maybe if Sharon Bullock beat Andre Barriouche, maybe he can fight Sharon Bullock. That'd be quite a fun matchup. But there is a couple of good matchups in the middleweight division. I personally like to see him fight against Michelle Pereira or even Abus Magomedov. I think both of their fights would be pretty good, because all 3 of them are power punchers, so especially in that first round would be really good. I would back Joe Pyfer to beat both of them. I think he has the cardio to match, and I can definitely see him getting that done. Moving on to the next one, Mario Bautista versus Patchy Mix, and this one I was so surprised because I had huge expectations for Patchy Mix. I really did think he was going to go in and not destroy Mario Bautista. I did think he was going to win by decision, but he looked awful. I'll put it out there, he looked awful. He looked so flat-footed. He looked like he had no guard at all, and when he got hit with a shot, he like froze, and then Mario Bautista just followed up with a couple of more shots, and he looked clueless. He looked like he had no idea what to do. In the third round, he got more into it. I think he was just the stage. He got a bit of a stage fright, and just being in the UFC first time, he's obviously talked the talk as well leading up to the fight, and I think he just froze a bit. Hopefully he won't look like that in his next fight, because his jiu-jitsu is so good, so high level, and didn't even barely shot any takedowns. Don't think he shot a single takedown in the first or second round. He looked honestly clueless whenever he got hit with a shot. It was weird. Something might have been going on with him mentally, but Mario Bautista looked really good. His boxing looked really good, and obviously people hate Mario Bautista, so I've seen people saying like, oh, as if Mario Bautista couldn't even finish Patchy Mix, which I think is ridiculous. I do think that's ridiculous. He looked really good. His boxing was really good. He switched stance in the second round and still looked really dominant. I did have it 3-0 Mario Bautista for that backhand. Either stance he was in was landing constantly. He had a really good jab, and his body kicks as well. What Patchy Mix done too, his fundamentals were awful. Anytime he'd get hit with a 1-2, he'd just stand still and take it. When he had his guard up too, he had his elbows out wide, so every time Bautista would throw a body kick, it'd just come underneath his elbow and hit him right in the stomach. So a very weird performance, because I've watched loads of Patchy Mix fights all week. I've been watching his fights, and he's really good, super high level, and he's fought good people. Magomedov is such a good fighter, so it's really surprising that he performed like that. Mario Bautista, he should get someone high up the rankings next. He definitely deserves it. Obviously beat Jose Aldo in a controversial decision. I did have it Jose Aldo, but still did beat him on the record. Then he took a big fight against Patchy Mix, which a lot of people wouldn't have took. He is very dangerous, and he just absolutely schooled him. I personally had a 3-0 like I just said, so I'd like to see him fight maybe like I know Henry Cejudo was saying he's a nobody, but I think he's took over Henry Cejudo there. I think he's leaped Henry Cejudo in the rankings. I think the perfect match to make is Mario Bautista versus Song Yadong on that China card at the end of August. I think that's perfect. Both of them looking for a match. Even if Mario Bautista maybe wants to wait out a bit longer, he can fight Figueiredo or someone like that. Even obviously Sean O'Malley if they have a long time out. But Song Yadong is a perfect matchup to me. Running through the rest of the fighters on the card, Kevin Holland with a nasty dart against Vicente Luque. I actually done a video this week, a little short on him, on how he's got so many darts from anacondas in his UFC career, and then Kevin Holland goes and hits one of them on him. So very impressive, and I love the way he triangled his leg, and Vicente Luque was practically stuck. He couldn't get his leg out, and he had to force him to tap. Kevin Holland looks really good at welterweight, and I like the sound of it. It sounded like he, on the mic, where he was saying like, I'm taking it serious now, which isn't great for the previous part of his career. It sounds like he weren't taking it serious, but now I'm glad he called out someone pretty sensible too, and Colby Covington, I think he will absolutely destroy. I think his range will be too much, his striking will be too much. I can see another Buckley style victory against Colby Covington, where Buckley just absolutely beat up Colby Covington. I can see Kevin Holland doing the exact same, and maybe even subbing him. I reckon they'll do that on the Chicago card with the Duplessis Chimaev card, because obviously Colby Covington hates Chimaev, and that'll be really good at the press conference. So I can definitely see them doing that fight next. Joshua Van, absolute animal. His boxing is so good, so good. I wish he did go to decision, because he did let my bet down, but it was a great fight. Knocked Bruno Silva down so many times. His boxing is so high level, and I love the fact he called out Moreno for the Mexico card. I think that's the perfect fight to make pretty soon as well. It's in September, so has a month or two off, and then he gets straight back into it. Not even a month or two, a couple of weeks off, and then straight back into it for a big camp, fight Moreno. And that performance, Moreno's not really going to shoot that many takedowns. In the ASIC fight, it was more of a striking match, and I can see Moreno doing the same against Joshua Van. I think it'd be a great boxing match, but I do have Joshua Van winning that. Bang, dominant display again, and De Silva had nothing really for it. In the third round, she did come back into it a bit, but the leg kicks were so much for Wang Kong, and she was so dominant. I hope she gets like an Alexa Grasso maybe on that Mexico card, or she gets maybe like a Macy Barber, who was meant to fight the other week, on the China card. Would be perfect. She definitely needs to get on either one of them cards. I'd definitely say the China one, but obviously if she is going to fight Grasso, the Mexico one's still pretty good. Weird that the commentators were getting a name wrong, calling her Hang Tong, but I don't know what that was about. Other than that, Azmat Mirzakhanov, brutal knockout. Hopefully get someone pretty high up in the rankings now. Maybe the winner of Zhang vs Walker, and he was meant to fight obviously Johnny Walker, so maybe he runs that back if Johnny Walker wins. If not, he could fight maybe Jan Blachowicz or Achic. There's loads of good fights, but let me know in the comments who you would match everyone up with, and what did you think of the card. I loved the card, to be honest. I thought the Joey Piper one took the sting out of a bit, but got back into it. That main event was really good, and I made up for Merab. Let me know in the comments what you think of the card, like and subscribe, and I will see you later.